Devotees, I also extend my warm welcome and gratitude to the senior devotees of Srimad Bhagavatam. I also welcome you all who have joined from all the parts of the world through the medium of Govind TV, Facebook, YouTube, etc. This all the listeners and in particular the organizers of this beautiful Katha, the whole Vadukul family, who in the reverie of their pious parents, Sri Jivan Yadav Vadukul and Maniben Vadukul, and just by remembering them, and in their reverie, this beautiful Katha has been organized by Sri Bharat Bhai, Nayan Manjari Mataji, Vidur Prabhu, Vidurani Mataji, and Kirit Bhai and Renuka Mataji. And their children. I welcome you all on the day 4th of this Katha. Welcome again. And please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam.
एक बार भगवान श्री कृष्ण
Once Lord Sri Krishna
द्वारिका में रहते हुए
was residing in Dwarika. Oh, he resided in Vrindavan, and he got up as usual. But when he woke up, he is remembering Srimati Radha Rani. Although he usually gets up and bow down at the feet of his parents, but today, after getting up, he looks towards Barsana and is in deep reverie of Srimati Radharani. Yashoda Maya says that the sun has arisen from east and you bow down on this direction and not the other direction. So Krishna might be saying that your sun might be in the east, but mine is towards this direction where I'm looking. And then it so happened, it is mentioned by our learned scholar acharyas that a parrot
और किसी दिन उनकी याद आए और अचानक कोई उनका नाम लेने लगे.
If you are remembering someone and someone comes who is taking their name, then our heart gets overwhelmed with joy. It becomes ecstatic. After seeing this parrot as he was chanting Radhe, Radhe, Lord Shri Krishna became ecstatic.
वहां आकर बैठ गया।
And then this parrot came near to the Lord and sat next to him.
कृष्ण को कहा कि मैं अभी अभी
And then he said that I have just arrived from Barsana.
ससुराल का तोता आया है।
So this is the messenger from the
मैं आपके लिए एक संदेश
in-laws home.
कृष्ण
So I have brought you a message, O Krishna.
किसने भेजा है मैसेज?
And who has sent this message,
श्रीमती
O
राधा
Shuk?
रानी ने आपके लिए मैसेज भेजा है।
He says, your beloved Srimati Radharani has sent a message and she desires to meet you at 5 o'clock in the evening today.
इनको तो राधा की याद ही आ रही थी।
And he was already remembering her, and this parrot came and there was an appointment fixed.
कृष्ण ने कहा कि तोता तुमने आज मुझे बहुत प्रसन्न किया, तुम भोजन
So Krishna said that, oh, parrot, you have made me ecstatic and extremely satisfied. So
लंका गए थे।
would you like to eat something? Then parrot beautifully replies, he says that as Hanumanji went on the work of Ramchandraji and he was told to rest a while, but he replied, when I'm on my job of to serve my Lord, then how can I take rest? In ISKCON, Vidu Prabhuji, there is a sannyasi spiritual master whose name is His Holiness Loknath Maharaj, and he is very merciful on us, and he always gives us opportunity to serve in Bhagavat. And I was performing a Katha and Maharajji came, and he was not feeling well.
तो मैंने कहा महाराज जी इतनी भागदौड़ क्यों कर रहे हैं?
And we said that, why are you working so hard? You have already prepared your kids, so you can send us and you can take some rest and time off. Then at that moment, His Holiness Loknath Maharaj said beautiful words that are imprinted on my heart. He said, oh LalGovind, now we will rest only after reaching the eternal abode of the Lord. So while working for the Lord, how can we rest? Similarly, this Shuk told that I am not hungry or thirsty. I just want to convey your message. I've conveyed Srimati Radharani's message, so I need to give her the message. So when you send an email, you get a delivery report. So till the point in WhatsApp, there is a blue line. We see that, oh, they haven't read it yet. So this parrot has to deliver the message again to Srimati Radharani that the time has been fixed. So the parrot went back to Barsana without eating or drinking anything or resting. And then he came and started chanting Krishna, Krishna. And Srimati Radharani was ecstatic as well. She was overwhelmed with joy and she was very happy that she's going to meet Lord Shri Krishna. And then she opened a pomegranate. And then with her own hands, she started separating the pomegranate seeds and started feeding this parrot with her own hands. And after listening that Lord Shri Krishna will be meeting her at 5 o'clock, she kissed this parrot. So Srimati Radharani said that you have worked beautifully for me, so you need to work one more time, or I need one more assistance from you. So she says that whatever communication we have between us, you are the only source who knows this communication. So all these secretive talk and communication is known by none other than you. They are concealed.
राधा को भेजना होता तो तोते के कान में रख कर कहकर भेज देते। सो राधा और कृष्ण के बीच की जो सीक्रेट है वो ये
The
तोता।
secret conversation between Srimati Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna is
बोले क्या?
known by this parrot. So Srimati Radharani says that, will you do a favor for me? That whatever this secret communication that we have, can you speak this for the living entities of Kali Yuga? You should go to planet Earth and
कलयुग के जीवों को सुनाओ।
share it with the people of Kali Yuga. So this parrot of Srimati Radharani, who used to reside in Golok Dham and in spiritual world, he came on this material earth as Shukdev Goswami.
गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। सुखदेव गोस्वामी और कोई नहीं, श्रीमती राधा।
So Shukdev Goswami is none other than the pet parrot of Srimati Radharani, and who used to be a messenger between Radha and Krishna, and he needs all the secret concealed conversation between them. Therefore, Shukdev Goswami is introduced as
सो वृषभानुजाया पवित्र चंचू प्रिय चुंबनेन एकांतिको नन्यरहस्य पाठी गौलोक प्रसाद सदा निवासी। तो गोलोक प्रसाद सदा निवासी, सदा गोलोक धाम में रहने वाले विष्णु।
so the one who resides eternally in Golok Dham, that parrot Shukdev Goswami appeared on this material earth, and he is not any ordinary living entity. Therefore,
यदि हम भागवत सुनते
if we
हैं
listen Bhagavatam from the mouth of Shukdev Goswami, then we can fully understand the love between Srimati Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna. So such Shukdev Goswami, as you have heard yesterday, that he arrived on the banks of River Ganga,
कुमार पाद
River Ganges, and in the assembly of Parikshit Maharaj.
16 वर्ष की आयुष्य है।
So he is 16-year-old, but he is wise and filled with the love towards Lord and Srimati Radharani. And Parikshit Maharaj is standing there with folded hands.
लेकिन गंगा के तट पर जो कथा हो रही थी,
So when this katha was happening, then Parikshit ji was constantly standing, sitting there with folded hands. And there are few devotees who sit there with folded hands. So Parikshit Maharaj became emotional, overwhelmed. Parikshit Maharaj's heart started melting, and he tells Shukdev Goswami, "You are great. I was worried and anxious that who is going to speak Srimad Bhagavatam to me, but you have been merciful and you came here." Oh, Shukdev, I have just 7 days left in my life, and I just seek your mercy. Please let me know a person who is going to die soon. What should they do? So the first question Parikshit Maharaj asked is,
ये केवल परीक्षित के लिए प्रश्न नहीं है,
and this question is not relevant only for Parikshit Maharaj, but for all of us. Why? Because we all are going to die. Parikshit still is aware that he will die after 7 days. We don't even know when we are going to die, whether we will die after 7 days or 7 minutes or hours. It's beautifully expressed.
किसी का क्या भरोसा है इस जिंदगी का, क्षमा बुझ जाएगी जलते जलते, दम निकल जाएगा रोशनी के, नाम रह जाएगा आदमी का, क्या भरोसा है इस जिंदगी का। जीवन का कोई भरोसा नहीं है, हम कभी भी मर सकते
हैं। So we can never be sure of our life. And only thing that remains is our name. And our kids will put a frame and write that Swargya, that means that the person who has attained the heavenly planet. So a person who hasn't heard the Katha or did any pious work, how is he going to go to the upper planetary system? So I'm just saying that Parikshit Maharaj is saying or asking that a person who is destined to die, what is the biggest responsibility for such a person?
मरण धर्मा मनुष्य के लिए सबसे प्रथम responsibility.
So for a person who is about to die, what is the first and foremost responsibility of that person? So we all are humans and we live in this material world and we have so many responsibilities. If we are mother, we need to take care of the kids and serve our husband. And if we're husband, then they need to take care of the financial status of the family. So everybody has their own responsibility, but these all responsibilities are the responsibilities pertaining to our body. So why are you serving your kid and not neighbor's child? Because this child came into existence from our body, so that therefore it is a responsibility related to our body. But fundamentally or elementally, we are not this body, we are the soul. So no matter okay, we should take responsibility of the body and bodily responsibility, but what is the first and foremost responsibility of the soul? So please be merciful and let me know. So Parikshit Maharaj adds further, I'm aware that you don't stay at any place for more than few days. So the time that is required to milk a cow, that is 20 minutes in general. So he just stay at one particular place only for 20 minutes. And I just am left with 7 days. So please be merciful and let me know. So Shukdev Maharaj tells Shukdev Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj that 7 days are more than you require. To attain the Lord, you just need only 2 gharis. So there was a king in the Surya or Sun dynasty, that is Khatwang, who went to the heavenly planets to fight on behalf of Indra Maharaj, and he won. So Indra said that you can ask anything. So he said, can you give me liberation? He said that no, I cannot do that. So he said that how much time is left for me on this in my life? So he said that you just have 2 minutes. So Khatwang said, can you just send me to the earth? So please send me to Haridwar. And in one moment he went to Haridwar, and in Haridwar, Khatwang Maharaj started remembering the Lord. And as he was remembering the Lord while leaving the body, so according to Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, Krishna has said that if you remember at the time of death, then that person attains my eternal abode. So in 2 minutes, Khatwang Maharaj when attained the abode of the Lord. So you still have seven days. Then Shukdev Goswami said that if person is already troubled, then we should not trouble them more. If a person says that I've got COVID, what shall I do? And if we say that, oh, that person was infected and they died, this died. So if he's about to die in a week, he will die in 2 days. So if a person is in distress or trouble, then we should try to console them. Shukdev Goswami said that you should not worry, I'm here. 7 days are more than enough. Only 2 minutes are enough. And I will share the pastimes of the Lord. You just listen to the pastimes and you focus your heart and mind. And I guarantee you that even before Taksha comes, you will attain the abode of the Lord. You will be on the lap of the Lord. And Parikshit, you just want to know that what should a person do? So, oh Parikshit, the question that you have asked is great. And nobody asked such a grave question in this world. So Shukdev Goswami first and foremost celebrated or praised the question. So if a sage or saint meet you, then you should be aware what kind of question you should ask them. In Vedanta Sutra, it is mentioned Athato Brahma Jignasa. Till the time you know the soul and the spirit soul, till that time, you won't be able to relieve. So you should know about the soul and super soul. So here Shukdev Goswami says, there are so many things that can be spoken and discussed. In this world, people meet and say, there is a weekend, where is a good movie going on? Which is a good restaurant where we can go? Where should we go? So there are so many things that people keep on asking. But today, the question that you have raised or asked is important. It's not only beneficial for you, but it is also going to benefit the society at large. So, what is the responsibility of a person who is about to die? And Shukdev Goswami beautifully replies,
भारत सर्वात्मा भगवान ईश्वरो हरि श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्य इच्छतामभयम् स्मर्तव्य इच्छतामभयम् तस्मात् तस्मात् माने इसलिए
so tasmat means therefore. Why?
चक्र काटने के बाद बड़ी मुश्किल से मनुष्य
So after transmigrating for 84 lakhs of species, we have got this human body.
और आज जब बुद्धि
And we have done so much that we should have done. So now that we have got some intelligence, therefore, what should a person do? Oh, Parikshit Maharaj, a person
जो सबकी आत्मा है, हम सब
should Sarvatma, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the Super Soul, that is
शरीर को
Paramatma.
चलाने वाली आत्मा है, राइट?
So
शरीर से
the
आत्मा निकल गई
body
तो शरीर खत्म। तो
works
शरीर को चलाने वाली
with the
आत्मा
help
है,
of
आत्मा को चलाने वाला
the
कौन?
spirit soul.
परमात्मा।
But who takes care
इसलिए
or
परमात्मा को
who
कहते हैं
makes this
सर्व
spirit
आत्मा।
soul work, that is super soul? That is why it is called Sarva Atma or super soul.
माने जो परमात्मा है, जो
So the Lord
भगवान माने षड ऐश्वर्य पूर्ण,
or Bhagwan, that is the one who
से ज्ञान
has
गुण
all the six opulences like
सब कुछ
knowledge,
ऐसे
beauty,
कृष्ण
and not
और हरि
and such Krishna or Hari
दुख को हर लेते हैं,
who removes all the
दुख को हर
distresses
लेते हैं।
of his
तो ऐसे
devotees.
परमात्मा
So
भगवान
such
हरि
Lord
का
Hari,
क्या करना चाहिए? मनुष्य का
what should we
प्रथम
do?
कर्तव्य है
The first and
ऐसे
foremost
भगवान का
responsibility is that
श्रोतव्य,
we should
ऐसे हरि, ऐसे भगवान श्री कृष्ण की
listen
कथा सुननी
the
चाहिए।
pastimes of such Lord Sri Hari,
कीर्तितव्यश्च, और उस भगवान राम कृष्ण के नाम
and
का
such
कीर्तन करना चाहिए।
Lord's holy names should be chanted.
कीर्तितव्यश्च और स्मरतव्य, और उस राम और कृष्ण की कथा लीला का स्मरण करना चाहिए।
We should try to remember the pastimes of Lord Sri Ram and Krishna.
किसको?
And who should
इच्छता
do this?
जो अपने जीवन में अभय चाहते
Who
हैं,
want to be
सब
fearless
प्रकार
in
की
their life,
चिंता दुख
who
दारिद्र से
want
मुक्त
to
होना चाहते
be
हैं,
relieved of all their distresses
ऐसे
and anxiety,
भगवान
such
राम भगवान श्री
person
कृष्ण की कथा सुननी चाहिए।
should
राम
listen
कृष्ण
to the
कथा
pastimes of Lord
राम
Sri
कृष्ण
Ram
का
and
स्मरण करना
Krishna
चाहिए।
and remember the same
जीवन
and chant the holy
आनंदमय हो
names,
जाएगा।
and the life will become
आप एक
blissful.
समय के लिए सोच लीजिए कि
Just
भगवान
imagine
जी
for a moment
मरने के
that
बाद कुछ
there
नहीं,
is no
एक समय के लिए,
Vaikuntha
लेकिन
or
जीवन
eternal abode
जीते
of the
हुए
Lord.
भी
But even if
जीवंत
we want to
चरित्र
sustain or
सबसे
live
ज्यादा सुख
our
देता
life
है।
in this material world, then also it
गोविंद
gives
हरि
us
चिंतन हरि स्मरण
so much happiness and
सबसे ज्यादा
bliss.
आनंद देता है। मैं तो कहता हूँ इस दुनिया में सबसे अधिक
I just want
आनंद,
to say
सबसे
that
अधिक सुख
the most
एकमात्र
hap-
प्रभु स्मरण में
happiness or bliss is only in
जैसे
remembering
ही
the
प्रभु
Lord.
स्मरण छूटा,
And as soon as
दुर्घटना
we
घटी,
forget Him,
जिम्मेदारी
or
बढ़ी, दुर्घटना घटी।
our life becomes a mess.
सो मनुष्य का कर्तव्य है भगवान की कथा सुने,
So it
भगवान
is
का
our
नाम जपे।
responsibility to listen to the pastimes of the Lord.
लेकिन लोग ऐसा करते नहीं है।
But people don't do the same.
निद्रया रियते नक्तम व्यवायेन च वावय दिवाचारते हया राजन कुटुंब भरणेन। पूरा दिन बीत जाता है
So
पैसे
the whole
कमाने में
day
और रात बीत
elapses in
जाती है
just
सोने में।
gathering money, accumulating
रात
wealth,
में सोने में, दिन
and the
रात
night we
बीत जाती है
spend in
करते
sleeping,
करते,
and so on and so forth. Our whole life
और
gets
फिर
wasted,
बीतते बीतते बुढ़ापा आ जाता है और
and we
कहते
reach
हैं
at the door
केशव
of
प्रमत्तो निद्रया,
old age
आदमी
or the stage of old age.
निद्रावस्थी में इतना प्रमत्त
But the
होता है,
person is
इतना
so
प्रमत्त
much
होता है
attached and
कि
entangled in his
पश्यतो न पश्यति,
material existence and family responsibilities
देखता है कि अब
that
मेरी
although
मृत्यु
he
का दिन
sees
निकट
that
है,
I
मौत के
am
दिन करीब है,
very
तो
near
फिर
to
भी
my
साला
death, and now at least I should do
देखते
something,
हुए भी उसे
but
देखता नहीं है।
although he sees, but he ignores that.
महाभारत में एक प्रसंग है, आप
In
सब जानते हैं।
Mahabharata, there is a pastime, as you all are
पांडव
aware.
गए तो
When
यक्ष
Pandavas were in
ने सबको
exile,
मार दिया।
Yaksha killed
युधिष्ठिर
all
जी
of them except
यक्ष ने
Yudhishthir.
100 प्रश्न पूछे और
And
कहा
Yudhishthir ji
सभी
was
प्रश्नों
asked
के
100
उत्तर अगर
questions,
सही
and
दोगे
if
तो मैं
you
बड़े भाई को जीवन
give
दे दूंगा।
correct answers, then
एक ही
I will
गलत हुआ,
give your
सब खत्म।
brother's life back.
अमिताभ जी तो लाइफ लाइन भी देते हैं, फोन अ फ्रेंड कर लीजिए,
So Amitabh ji at least gives a
सब्सक्राइब कर
lifeline.
दीजिए,
Audience
शेयर कर
poll
दीजिए, 2 साल में
50-50
घर
or
बन
so
जाएगा।
and so. But this
और
Yaksha
100 प्रश्न पूछा, ऑप्शन भी नहीं दिया,
is
लाइफ
going
लाइन
to
भी नहीं
ask 100 questions. He didn't give any options nor
दी।
lifeline.
लेकिन धर्मराज युधिष्ठिर खरे
But
उतरे। क्या अद्भुत
great is Dharamraj Yudhishthir.
मैं सारे प्रश्नों में न जाऊं, एक प्रश्न का जिक्र करूं।
So if I just mention one question of those 100 questions, Yaksha ji asked, Kim Ashcharyam? Oh, Yudhishthira, please let me know what is strange in this world. So we will see that the biggest wonder is Niagara Falls or India's Taj Mahal. Is there anything in UK? So these are all wonders for us. But Dharamraj Yudhishthira replied that the greatest wonder or amazement in this world is
स्थावर नीचंती किम आश्चर्यम यतः परम। युधिष्ठिर कहते हैं,
he says that in a single day, thousands and thousands people die and they go to reach the door of Lord Yamraj. So thousands and thousands people go to Yamlok. So our younger ones were lost in an accident. Our elders were lost in natural death or heart attack, etc. Our neighbors and friends also are dying. But what do we think? That we are not going to die.
युधिष्ठिर महाराज कहते हैं कि हमसे छोटे बड़े ऊपर नीचे रहने वाले सब चले गए, लेकिन शेषास्थावर जो शेष बचे हैं.
So Yudhishthir Maharaj says that the people who are still on this material earth, they don't realize that even I'm going to die one day. So before I die, I should do some acts of piety so that I am worthy of at least showing my face to the Lord. So this is the great amazement for Yudhishthira Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada ji writes, in India there is so much craze to go to UK, US or Canada, etc. So many people wait in lines for that. So Srila Prabhupada says that people work so hard to work. They work so hard to go or reach US, and sometimes people work so hard to get or accumulate wealth. So Prabhupada says that neither he is going to the States nor he is going to accumulate wealth, but he is not sure whether he will do that or attain that. But the death that is fixed and it is going to happen, but that he doesn't think even for a moment, although it is definite. So in Bhagavad Gita's 15th chapter, Lord Shri Krishna says we should live in this world as a lotus resides in water.
संसार में रहे, लेकिन
so you should reside in this on this earth, but we should not get attached to this material world. Shukdev ji is filled with grief. He says that we all are so much entangled in this world that we are unable to see our death and we don't remember the Lord.
अभी तो वर्तमान में तो हम अमेरिका रहते हैं, आप सब जानते हैं.
So in present, I'm residing in US, but previously we used to live in Mumbai, and I had a home in Borivali, and there was a temple in Mira Road. So it's almost 10 kilometers. So we used to go to the temple every Sunday. So on the way to the temple, there were some butcher shops. And I used to see, I've seen with my own eyes.
सो आंखों से
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय हो।
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम
राम राम हरे।
राधे। सो घर से मंदिर 10 किलोमीटर दूर था।
So our home was 10 kilometers away, and there were 2 butcher shops, and we used to see that on Sunday people used to wait in line. I think that people eat it more often on a Sunday. So in India there is a roadside shop, and 10 goats are at the backside, and they are eating the grass, and the customer is so they bring one goat and they just chop it off and start selling it. It's meat. So once this goat's meat is over, then they bring another one, and they
तीसरा बकरा, चौथा बकरा,
so
पांचवा
in this manner
बेचते जाते हैं।
they keep on killing them and selling them. So of 10, 6 have left, only 4 are left. So they all have died, and only 4 are remaining alive. But these 4 who are alive, none of them thinks that these 6 were with us, and now they are no more.
यार हमें कुछ करना चाहिए, यहाँ से
So we should do something. We should try to run from here, or we should try to get away from here. But they are so entangled in eating that grass. They see that these 6 goats were here with us, and now they are no more. But still, these remaining goats that are alive, they don't feel that even we will have to leave one day. So, the same situation is of us as well. Our situation is similar to them. People who are younger and elder than us, they all have left. So for goats, it's grass, and for us, sense gratification in this material world, the facilities that we consume on this earth. So as they are engrossed in eating that grass, we also are entangled in enjoying our senses. That is why Shukdev Goswami says, he says that we ignore all these signs, but there is someone who is intelligent like Gautam Buddha or devotees like you who thinks that we have got this human life to do something different or special. We cannot just live on our life like animals. Otherwise, what is the difference between us and the animals? The animals eat, we eat, they sleep, we sleep. We raise kids and they also raise kids. So what is the difference? So the only difference between us and them is that we can follow the path of religion, but these animals can do the same. So in other words, human life has been given to us so that we can follow the principles of religiosity And what is dharma?
देखो धर्म के लिए ढिंगाना करने की जरूरत नहीं है। न हिमालय में चले जाओ सिर नीचे पाँव।
So we need not to perform austerity. So people have complicated the principles of religion. It's not that much that they tell. Shukdev Goswami in one verse simply said,
भगवान ईश्वरो हरि श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्य स्मरतव्य। उस हरि का उस राम
he says that this Hari, Lord, Krishna, Vishnu, whomever you believe, the form that you like, whether Ram, Krishna, or Vishnu, then you should listen to his pastimes, chant his holy names, and you remember them. That is the path of religiosity. And that is why we have been provided with this human life. So out of you, so many will be in business. So people who are engaged in business, they think before starting the business that what will be the profits and loss. So an intelligent person thinks what will I benefit and what can be the loss. So have you some thought that we've got such a human form that what is the benefit of this beautiful human body that we have got? So is it that we eat so wonderful meals so that even dog eats or do the same? No matter if what favorite food we get, but till what point we are going to eat, because if we overeat then we will have pain in our stomach. But this pig eats 24 hours, yet he need not to be hospitalized. He enjoys. So a pig enjoys the food more than us. So is it to marry and beget children? So, but these cats and dogs have so many kids. So they are even far more. They have far more kids than us. So Shukdev Goswami says,
स्वधर्म परिनिष्ठया जन्म लाभ परे पुंसाम अंते नारायण स्मृति ही। ये मनुष्य जीवन मिला है
that we have got this human body, and the benefit of this human life is that at the time of death we should remember the Lord. So, at the time of death we should remember Lord, or while we are working and we remember the Lord, then you are in benefit. In any work, if you remember the Lord, then that work is successful. But sometimes it happens that the work that we're doing is huge or great, but there is no remembrance of the Lord, even if that work is or appears to be big, but still it is a business of loss.
और मरते समय यदि भगवान का जीवन भर भगवान का स्मरण हुआ तो मरते समय
if you have remembered the Lord throughout your life, then at the time of death you can remember him. But and when we are able to remember the Lord, then we can attain the Lord or abode of the Lord. But it does not happen. Throughout the life, people run here and there for money. So the youth is wasted on accumulating wealth. And when we become old and it's time to use this money, we get diseased. So they invite us to eat 56 types of food, but for themselves they have sprouted mung beans. And they say that we are diabetic, so we cannot eat this food. So you might have noted this point. A person who is diabetic, he loves to eat sweets. So the wife stops that you should not eat it, and he eats. And even if he's about to die or he's on his deathbed, and at the time of death, he tells that please give me something sweet to eat. So the youth is wasted on accumulating wealth, and while he wanted to eat, he is not able to eat. So at the time of death, he is remembering or desire to have this sweet. So according to Bhagavad Gita, at the time of death, had his desire to have sweet. So after death, if it's a woman, then she will become an ant.
आप देख लीजिएगा, मीठा खाना
And the male will become a sugar ant.
चींटियों को, आप लंदन में चींटी होती है?
So do you have ants here?
दो-तीन हम लोग भारत से लेकर आए हैं.
So we have bought a few from India in my boot. She's traveled, so I thought that she wants to visit London.
माइग्रेट कर देते हैं इसे.
So let her migrate. And have kept it at the home of Bharat Bhai.
किचन में उसे शक्कर का डिब्बा मिल जाए तो एक शक्कर का दाना लेकर रास्ते से जितनी भी चींटी मिलती है उसके साथ.
So when a female ant gets a piece of sugar, then she takes that sugar, and whenever she meets other ants, she informs them that. So that is the nature of women. But a man is like a sugar ant. He is never in a group. He is always alone. So if he goes to the kitchen, first he's not able to find the sugar. But if somehow he gets that, he never reveals it to other. He will sit alone in that box. So throughout the life, had this desire to eat sweet. He comes at sugar, and he comes at the home of his own son. Then his daughter-in-law comes to make tea. She put boiled water, and the father-in-law is sitting in the sugar box. And he says that the daughter-in-law has never allowed them to live in peace when they were alive. So how is she? So she is also not to be blamed, because as she hasn't drunk tea, she can't open her eyes. And she puts the ant in the boiling water, and he dies again. So if you want to save yourself from such situation, I'm telling these grave philosophical points in a simplified form. So if you want to benefit yourself, then you should always remember Krishna. When Shukdev Goswami was speaking this, then Parikshit Maharaj said, do you have a shortcut? So I understood that we can be in bliss if we chant the holy names of the Lord, as on the earth we will feel bliss, and after death we will attain the abode of the Lord. So, what if someone wants beauty? So he says that you should worship Gandharvas. If you want education, then you should worship Lord Shiva. If you want food, then so there is a list in Bhagavatam. So whatever you desire, we can go to that demigod. Sometimes people go to Hanumanji and say that, please bless me that I'm, please bless me that I can marry. And Hanumanji says that I'm a bachelor myself. How can I give you that mercy? So what we should ask whom, that also is a sign of intelligence. Can anybody ask for marriage? But we should ask service and devotional service from him. If you want love between husband and wife, I'm just simplifying the Sanskrit verses and presenting it to you. And I'm just speaking everything from the Bhagavatam. So Shukdev Goswami says that if husband and wife are at war or they don't see eye to eye with each other, then they should worship Mother Parvati. If you want honor, then you should worship sun God. So Parikshit Maharaj again asked that if you want food, then you can go in Didi. So our whole life will be used in Didi. But what if a person needs two things? And if someone wants three or four things, and a person like me who needs everything, then so he says there is a very easy way out.
Moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param अकामो सर्व कामो वा यदि इनमें से ये जितनी भी बातें कही गई सर्व काम
he says if you want to fulfill all your desires that are mentioned here, so you need not to perform devotional service to all of these demigods. If you have a desire or you don't have any desire, then also what should we do? And even if you want liberation, then also there is no problem. So to fulfill all your desire or to get liberation, you just need to do one work. And what is that? With enthusiasm, we should follow the path of loving devotional service towards the Lord, that is bhakti. So if we worship Lord Krishna, Rama, or Hari, then you need not to worship all the demigods separately, because if you just worship the Lord, then all other demigods will be taken care of automatically and all your wishes will be fulfilled. Why? Because Krishna is the root of everything. He is the root of all the demigods. Sometimes people don't understand this philosophical point. In parliament, how many people sit? Are they all in one category? So although all are sitting in the same assembly, but they are categorized differently. If you know the Prime Minister, then you need not to worry about the other ministers. Similarly, Krishna is the root of all the demigods. For example, there is a verse in Bhagavatam,
अच्युत माने भगवान कृष्ण.
Achyut Ijya. So Achyut here denotes Lord Shri Krishna, and Ijya is bhakti or another devotional service. So it says that this is like watering the root of a tree. So whether in a tree's branches, leaves, etc., or fruits, where do you want to water? Will you sprinkle the water on its leaf or on its branches?
बच्चे जो आए ना आजकल फेसबुक यूट्यूब वाले इंस्टा वाले वो तो फूल पे भी डालेंगे लेकिन थोड़ा सा लॉजिक कॉमन
So
सेंस यूज
just
करें
use your logic and common sense.
अन्य जगह पर
Then
पानी डालने की जरूरत नहीं
instead
उसकी
of
जड़
watering
फूल में पानी
other parts of the tree, if you just water the root, then everything else will be taken care of automatically. Similarly, Krishna is the root, and if you worship the Lord, then you need not to worship anybody else because that will be taken care of.
महाभारत का प्रसंग
There is a pastime in Mahabharata, you might be aware, when Pandavas were in exile, then Duryodhan sent Durvasa Rishi and said that you should go there and have meal at their home. And Duryodhana had this plan that if and Durvasa went with his 10,000 disciples to eat Yudhishthira. The Duryodhana thought that Durvasa won't be fed properly by Yudhishthira, then he will be cursed because and without even fighting, they will be dead and I need not to fight. So Duryodhana sent Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni came with 10,000 disciples in this forest in the hermitage of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj welcomed and said that please come and have your meal. Durvasa said that we are 10,000 people, so please get food ready for me, and we will just take a bath and we will come. So they went with his disciples to take a holy dip, and Yudhishthira Maharaj said that, oh Draupadi, please prepare food for 10,000 people. Draupadi says, oh my dear husband, that is not going to work. He said that we have that Akshay Patra, so you can do anything with that. So she said that there is a rule that if we wash that pond, then we cannot get food for another 24 hours. So just now I have washed it and now we cannot get food. So everybody gathered there. So they said that we have invited 10,000 and now we have just washed the Akshay Patra. So Durvasa Muni will come and he will curse us. So there is a description in Mahabharata that Pandavas were ready to get a. They have prepared their own fire also. Because they've already washed the Akshay Patra, and so we will get curse from Durvasa Rishi and we are going to die. But at the end, Draupadi remembers Lord Shri Krishna and Lord Shri Krishna. So if you just call him with love, he comes. We just call him without any energy. So this is a katha. So we should call them with love. So if there is a villager and he takes his cows for grazing the field, and when it's time to bring those cows back, then this cowherd boy stands under the tree and he starts calling them by their names. and the cows starts running and come towards that cowherd boy. So if an ordinary living entity, if you address him and he starts coming running, then if we call the Lord, then will not he come? He will come for sure. We just need to call. So Draupadi called, and the Lord came barefoot. When Gajendra called, he came on his Garud. When Prahlad Maharaj called, he came by breaking the pillar. We just need to address him, call him. Draupadi called him, and the Lord appeared. He said, we are just about to die. Just cremate us. We have already prepared the fire for us to die. So he said that just let me know what happened or ensued. So he said that we have invited Durvasa Muni with his disciples, but Akshay Patra has been washed. So Krishna says that just bring that Akshay Patra. So Krishna saw one grain of rice. So she might not have washed it properly. Our old women, they just wash their dishes very powerfully with. So there was one grain, and Krishna said that there is one grain, and the history is a proof that this one grain of rice Krishna ate. Krishna was satisfied, and at that time, the all the living entities of this world were satisfied. And what does it teaches us? What did you understood by that? So Krishna got satisfied. Then all the living entities, demigods, yakshas, etc., all got satisfied. What does it imply? That if you satisfy the Lord, then the whole everyone in this living world or in this material world will be satisfied. If you worship the Lord, then everybody else will be taken care of. You need not to worship them. That is why Shukdev Goswami writes, if we perform another devotional service towards the Lord, then everybody will get satisfied. And the demigods will start giving you everything that they have. Therefore, we should perform pure loving devotional service towards Him. So, Shukdev Goswami shares this beautiful historical point, and then Shukdev Goswami says that Duryodhana was performing great evil tasks and instigating the Pandavas, troubling them a lot. And at that time, in Hastinapur, Dhritarashtra Maharaj had a minister who was Vidur, and he saw that Duryodhana is performing evil deeds, and Vidurji tried to advise Dhritarashtra Maharaj that please stop your son Duryodhana will destroy the whole clan. He will bring destruction to everybody. But Dhritarashtra didn't utter a word. But Duryodhana could not tolerate, and in the whole assembly, Vidurji was disrespected, dishonored by Duryodhana. He says that you are a servant, you are a son of a maidservant, and you have forgotten your place. Just remember what is your position. And he abused him a lot. Vidurji thought that he is a crazy man, but what is the reaction of his father? What is the king saying? But the king was also blinded by the love towards his son. So Vidurji realized that nothing can happen in this system where a pure devotee of the Lord are being disrespected and troubled. So Mahatma Vidur, with his own, at his own will, he resigned from his position and he gave us a lesson in this country. The greatest position is of a prime minister, and Mahatma Vidur was the prime minister. So he resigned from his job. Why? Because in his kingdom, the irreligious principles were being performed. So when the place where we reside, the society we are in, or organization where there a devotee of the Lord is troubled, then we should try to use all our energies to stop such people. And if we can't stop them, then we should leave that place. Otherwise, we will also become the part of that evil deed. So if there is a mistake, we should try to rectify that. We should try to stop them. And if we are not able to do that, then we should leave that place. Otherwise, we will also incur sin. So Vidurji left. So Mahatma Vidur left his bow and arrow on the doors of Hastinapur and left. But Shukdev Goswami writes, O Parikshit, a great devotee like Vidurji left Hastinapur, that when he left, then he has taken the good luck or fortune of such people. So people became unfortunate. So in our society or organization, if a great sage or a devotee gets troubled and leaves, that time we lose all our fortune.
रावण के ऊपर एक आंच नहीं आ सकती थी.
Ravan could not be destroyed, but only till the point he didn't disrespect Vibhishan.
लेकिन रावण की मौत उस दिन नक्की हो गई.
Ravana fixed his date of death when he disrespected, abused Vibhishan. He didn't kicked his brother Vibhishana, but his fortune. When we disrespect a sage or a saint or kick them, then we are kicking our own fortune. That is what happened here. Vidurji started roaming in all the holy places. He went on a pilgrimage, and finally, where did he reach? He reached Braj Vrindavan.
वृंदावन में विदुर जी से मिलन हुआ. विदुर जी ने कहा कि कृष्ण तो संसार छोड़कर चले गए.
So he met Uddhav ji and
विदुर जी कृष्ण
Vidur ji, Krishna was remembering you while leaving this earth. So Vidur ji was amazed and said that he has spoken Bhagavatam to Maitre Muni and has told that when my Vidur comes, please share this knowledge with him. And Vidurji went to Rishikesh, Uttarakhand. So in Haridwar, Rishikesh, there is a place where Maitre Muni's hermitage is there, and Mahatma Vidur reached there at the lotus feet of Maitriji. He said that you have given you Bhagavatam, so please share it with me. So Shukdev Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj that Maitre Muni starts speaking the Bhagavatam to Vidurji. That first and foremost, how this whole world was created in great detail. He shares that. And after the creation of this material, then how all these living entities came into existence. So fundamentally, it was spoken by Maitre Muni to Vidurji. And the same pastime is shared by Shukdev Goswami too. Parikshit Maharaj, Maitreya Muni says, Vidurji, from the belly button of the Lord, a lotus came and it had all these 14 lokas.
और उस पृथ्वी लोक में
And on this
भगवान की नाभ
earth,
ये कमल कमल की डंडी में ये 14 लोक
so on in the stem, it has all the 14 loks. And so on the top of it, there was a Brahma lok where Brahmaji appeared.
100 साल तक तपस्या
And
की
for 100 years, he performed austerity. The Lord gave a boon and gave him knowledge and said, Oh bride, Brahmaji, you should generate the living entities. So first and foremost, Brahmaji gave birth to Narad Muni and told that you should get married. Narad Muni refused. He said that I just want to perform devotional service towards the Lord.
नारद जी ने और भी बहुत सारे बच्चों को जन्म दिया
Then there were so many other sons, but nobody was ready to get married. So Brahmaji became agitated, and from his eyes a child came into existence who was crying. That is why he was addressed as Rudra
शिव जी ने कहा पिताजी कोई
or Lord
आज्ञा
Shiva. So he asked Brahmaji that what shall I do? So Shivji, he said that you should create living entities. So Lord Shiva started making strange creatures.
करने लगे और शिव जी के द्वारा उत्पन्न वे सारे जीव
And all these living entities started creating disturbance. And there they went to Brahmalok and started killing Brahmaji. So Brahmaji understood and he said that he called Shivji immediately.
बेटा शिव
And he told, Oh Shiva,
बोले तू ये रहने दे
you should not, you should just leave it aside. He said that this creation of living entities, you should not do it. You should just take the task of destruction. Till that time, you can just perform devotional service. So now Brahmaji was thinking, what shall I do now? So from his half body, he generated Manu and other part Shatrupa.
और उनको कहा कि तुम दोनों
And he said, you both should go to earth and you should start creating living entities through intercourse. So the
मनुष्य मानव
the living entities that were procreated by Manu and Shatrupa are called Manushya or humans.
आपके डार्विन ने क्या कहा
So we have originated from Manu and Shatrupa, but according to Darwin, we have come from monkeys. So all our ancestors are monkey. So we should tell Darwin that maybe your father was a monkey, but our ancestor was Manu Maharaj. Srimad Bhagavatam says that we have originated or procreated from Manu Maharaj. We are the children of great sages and saints. So how it is created? So Manu and Shatrupa were sent to earth for procreation. So they came down and they saw that all the lokas were there, but only earth was not there on its position. Then they went back to Brahmaji and said that we went to the earth, but there is no earth. So Brahmaji got worried. Where did the earth go?
कौन लेकर गया होगा एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम क्या था
So the actual problem was in other lok,
के दो पुत्र हुए
Diti had two sons,
हिरण्याक्ष और
Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu.
और हिरण्याक्ष जो बड़ा बेटा था
So the elder son was a great demon, and he thought that in future we are supposed to fight with the demigods and the demigods get energy by the humans because they perform fire yagna and they energize the demigods. So the earth on where they perform these yagnas, so why don't we just hide this earth in the deep ocean? When there won't be any humans, then how will they perform sacrifice and energize the demigods? So Hiranyaksh took Mother Earth and hid it in the deep ocean. So Brahmaji became anxious and contemplating that where is Mother Earth? And Brahmaji doesn't become anxious. Some people become so anxious. So whatever they eat, they don't get any fat. And even if I drink water, then we gain weight. So when we are worried, it doesn't allow us to do anything. So Brahmaji didn't became anxious, but he started contemplating about the Lord. And he started remembering the Lord. So with Brahmaji, we should also remember the and will manifest the one of the incarnation of the Lord from the 10 incarnations.
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे
हरे
भाव से
हरे राम हरे राम
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
ब्रह्मा जी चिंतन करने लगे, प्रभु का स्मरण करने लगे। प्रभु
So Brahmaji started contemplating on the Lord. He said that by your desire and mercy, I wanted to create this world, and there is a great obstacle. This earth is not on its position. Where can I find it? Whenever I have called, you have always appeared. So please liberate Mother Vasundhara. So in this manner, Brahmaji, not only Brahmaji, but everybody who has called the Lord has appeared. He used to come and he comes even today. We just need to call him as Brahmaji called him. Brahmaj. So Brahmaji sneezed. And so you also get sneezed. So when you sneeze, do you take the name of the Lord? You should say Hare Krishna Radhe or not.
हरे कृष्ण।
So we should learn this. This is our culture. When we sneeze, we should take the name of the Lord. You know why? According to the sign, it is said that when we sneeze, all the nervous system get open. And for 24 hours, you won't die of heart attack. So you won't get any blockage for 24 hours. So this sneezing, you're safe for 24 hours. You won't get heart attack at least. So we should think that this is the mercy of the Lord. So that is why we should remember the Lord. So when the Lord Brahma sneezed, Maitreya Muni says that from the nose of Brahmaji, there was a living entity that was born, and it took a form of a great boar. He became the size of an elephant, and then he became as huge as a mountain. He took such a great form. Brahmaji and all the demigods understood. that this is not any ordinary boar, but he is Lord himself and came as a form of a boar. And they all started venerating the Lord.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare
Ho.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
बोलो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
हाँ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
हरे कृष्णा
Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
भगवान वराहदेव प्रकट हुए हैं.
Lord Varahadev appeared. He has attained a huge body. Maitreya Muni says that how does he looks?
उनका मस्तक बादल को छू रहा है.
His head is touching the sky,
बालों से बादल तीतर-बीतर हो रहा है.
and from because of his hairs, the clouds are getting disarrayed,
प्रकाश पुंज निकल रहा है.
and he has the effulgence of millions and millions of suns, and he has two beautiful teeth and a beautiful form. He has a club in his hand, and to protect or liberate his wife Vasundhara, he jumped in the ocean,
समुद्र फट गया.
and the whole ocean was divided, and the water started touching the sky, and Lord Vara reached the lower planetary system.
कर परवर धर
मेर करे हरि हर सुर अवर अवर यति मान हर भर अति हर अलख हरे.
भगवान वराह रसातल में पहुंचे और
So Lord Varadev reached the low planetary system, and he kept this Mother Earth on his teeth, and he brought it up. And as he liberated the earth and kept on its position, Hiranyaksha realized, and he started running and chasing the Lord. He also had a club. So they both had clubs, and they both started fighting with each other. So this is a very divine pastime. So Hiranyaksha attacked Lord Vara, and Varahadev lost his club,
के हाथों से गदा गिर गई.
or it slipped from his hand, and Hiranyaksha got more enthusiastic that he doesn't have any potency or power. But this fool didn't realize that this was the pastime that the Lord was doing. And at the same time, Lord Varadev became agitated. You have troubled my wife. Who is Vasundhara or Prithvi? She's the wife of Lord Vishnu. And Varaha is the incarnation of Lord Hari. So he has abused my wife. So if you are going with your wife and somebody teases your wife, then you will you say that I will go and get a gun, or I'll get a sword? If somebody has teased your wife, then they just trash that person with their own hands. So what did Lord Varahadev do? As Hiranyaksha has teased his wife, abducted his wife, so Lord Varahadev
हिरण्याक्ष के नीचे से धरती सरक गई.
put
ब्रह्मांड
his hand up, and Hiranyaksha lost his crown. Hiranyaksha's mother Diti's bosom was spilling blood instead of milk. And when Varahadev thrashed him, his head
प्रकट और भगवान की जय
became
जयकार करने लगे। बोले यज्ञ
decapitated from his body and he died instantly.
शिखरे धरणी तव लग्ना शशिनि कलंक कलेवनि मग्ना केशवदीता शुकर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवदीता शुकर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे
जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे।
माता कुंती जब कृष्ण को प्रार्थना कर रही थी ना,
When Mother Kunti was praying to the Lord, then when she was remembering these incarnations of the Lord and started crying, she said, "You, oh Krishna, you are so merciful. You're so benevolent to protect your devotees. What not you do to protect your devotee. Sometimes you become or incarnate as a fish or Matsya avatar, or you become a horse, that is high grief. Sometimes to protect the devotee you become Narsimha, and today to protect your devotee you became a boar or a pig who is not considered very good. But to what extent you go to protect your devotees, there can be nobody more merciful than you, O my Lord."
केशवद्रीता शुकर गाइए केशव खड़े होकर 2-5 मिनट के लिए भगवान का दिव्य अवतार हुआ है भाव से।
शुकर रूपा
केशवद्रीता शुकर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश
हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवद्रीता शुकर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवद्रीता शुकर रूपा केशवद्रीता शुकर रूपा
केशवद्रीता शुकर रूपा केशवद्रीता शुकर रूपा।
हो भाव से आगे आ जाइए नाचने के लिए। ए मुझे लगी शाम संग प्रीत के दुनिया क्या जाने
मुझे लगी शाम संग प्रीत के दुनिया क्या जाने मुझे शाम से प्रीत के दुनिया क्या जाने मुझे लगी शाम संग प्रीत ये दुनिया क्या जाने
क्या जाने भाई 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 क्या जाने
मुझे मिल गया
मन का भी के दुनिया क्या जाने मुझे मिल गया मन का भी ये दुनिया क्या जाने मुझे लगी शाम संग प्रीत ये दुनिया क्या जाने,
मुझे लगी शाम संग प्रीत, ये दुनिया क्या जाने।
नजीक आ भी जाओ, नजीक। हाँ। मोहन की सुंदर सूरतिया,
मोहन की सुंदर सूरतिया,
मन में बस गई मोह मूर्तिया,
मन में बस गई मोह मूर्तिया।
लोग कहे मैं तो भई बावरिया,
लोग कहे मैं तो भई बावरिया,
सबसे ऊंची शाम सुंदरिया,
सबसे ऊंची शाम सुंदरिया।
ये कैसी पागल प्रीत ये दुनिया
क्या जाने,
ये कैसी पागल प्रीत, ये दुनिया क्या
जाने। मुझे लगी शाम संग प्रीत, ये दुनिया क्या जाने।
मुझे लगी शाम संग प्रीत, ये दुनिया क्या जाने।
हो। राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा श्याम देखा,
राधा ढूंढ रही
किसी ने मेरा शाम देखा।
राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा श्याम देखा।
राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा शाम देखा।
अरे श्याम देखा घन श्याम देखा,
शाम देखा घन श्याम देखा।
श्याम देखा घन श्याम देखा।
शाम देखा घन श्याम देखा।
ये राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा श्याम देखा।
राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा शाम देखा।
हे राधा तेरा श्याम हमने मथुरा में देखा।
राधा तेरा शाम हमने मथुरा में देखा।
राधा तेरा श्याम हमने मथुरा में देखा।
राधा तेरा शाम हमने मथुरा में देखा।
ये बंसी बजाते हुए ओ राधा तेरा श्याम देखा।
बंसी बजाते हुए ओ राधा तेरा शाम देखा।
ये राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा श्याम देखा।
राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा शाम देखा।
श्याम हमने वृंदावन में देखा,
तेरा श्याम हमने वृंदावन में देखा,
तेरा श्याम हमने वृंदावन में देखा।
राधा तेरा श्याम हमने वृंदावन में देखा।
आलो रास रसाते हुए ओ राधा तेरा श्याम देखा,
रात रचाते हुए ओ राधा तेरा श्याम देखा।
ए राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा श्याम देखा,
राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा श्याम देखा।
ए राधा तेरा श्याम हमने बरसाने में देखा,
राधा तेरा श्याम हमने बरसाने में देखा।
राधा तेरा श्याम हमने बरसाने में देखा।
राधा तेरा श्याम हमने बरसाने में देखा।
ये रंग उड़ाते हुए ओ राधा तेरा श्याम देखा,
रंग उड़ाते हुए ओ राधा तेरा श्याम देखा।
ए राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा श्याम देखा,
राधा ढूंढ रही किसी ने मेरा श्याम देखा।
जय हो। तेरा श्याम हमने गोकुल में देखा,
राधा तेरा श्याम हमने गोकुल में देखा।
तेरा श्याम हमने गोकुल में देखा।
राधा तेरा श्याम हमने गोकुल में देखा।
आलो गैया चराते हुए ओ राधा तेरा श्याम देखा,
गैया चराते हुए ओ राधा तेरा श्याम देखा।
तेरा तेरा देर तो चले आएंगे बिहारी,
राधे राधे रटो चले आएंगे बिहारी।
तेरा तेरा देर तो चले आएंगे बिहारी,
राधे राधे रटो चले आएंगे बिहारी।
आएंगे बिहारी चलो आएंगे बिहारी,
आएंगे बिहारी चले आएंगे बिहारी।
आएंगे बिहारी चले आएंगे बिहारी।
आएंगे बिहारी चले आएंगे बिहारी।
ये राधे 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 रटो चले आएंगे बिहारी,
राधे राधे रटो चले आएंगे बिहारी।
ये राधा मेरी मिश्री तो स्वाद है बिहारी,
राधा मेरी मिश्री तो शान है बिहारी।
ये राधा मोरी गंगा तो धार है मुरारी,
राधा मेरी गंगा तो तार है बिहारी।
ये राधा मेरी गंगा तो धार है बिहारी।
राधा मेरी गंगा तो तार है बिहारी।
ये राधे राधे हे राधे राधे रटो चले आएंगे बिहारी,
राधे राधे रटो चले आएंगे बिहारी।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो।
हे राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद।
नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल।
नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल।
नाम संकीर्तन की
श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान
की जय।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
धन्यवाद। जैसे कि आज के सत्र में
So, in today's session,
हमने सुना
we have heard so far
भगवान श्री कृष्ण
that Lord Shri Krishna is the root of everything,
और ऐसे भगवान श्री कृष्ण
and such Lord
भगवत
Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita
शांति सुख और शांति प्राप्त करने के लिए
to attain peace
करना चाहिए।
and happiness, what shall we do?
श्रीमद् भगवत गीता में
In Srimad Bhagavad Gita,
कृष्ण निवेदन करते हैं
Krishna
भोक्ताराम
says,
यज्ञ तपसाम
Bhoktaram Yagyatapsam
महेश्वरम स्वेदम सर्वभूतानाम ज्ञात्वा माम शांति मृच्छति शांतिम इच्छति
So Shantim Ichyati.
इच्छा रखता
So
है
those who have desire of
उसे क्या
peace,
होगा?
what shall they do?
सभी यज्ञ और तपस्या
So all the fire sacrifices or austerity should be
स्टेटमेंट भगवत गीता में है
for me. So
कोई
he clearly states that he is not saying anything
सभी यज्ञ और तपस्या का भोक्ता यदि
that is not clear. He says very straightforwardly
मेरे
that
लिए
if
यज्ञ
a
करे
person performs a fire sacrifice
यदि कोई मेरे लिए
or
तपस्या
yajna for me or performs austerity for me,
इच्छति वो शांति प्राप्त
then
कर लेता है।
he can attain peace.
जीवन में बहुत कुछ मिल जाए लेकिन शांति
If you get so many things in your life but you don't get peace,
तो शांति
then
प्राप्त
what
करने
is it?
कृष्ण के लिए यज्ञ
It's futile. So to attain peace, we should perform sacrifice, austerity, etc. for the Lord. So we all fast, but whatever fasting we do,
हमारी बुद्धि से
we do it according to our whims and fancies, or just by seeing or comparing with this person. So, because that person is doing, that is why I'm doing. Then, if you go to that person, he'll say that the other person is doing, that is why I'm doing that.
भगवत गीता में कृष्ण कहता है
So, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna says
मेरे लिए होना चाहिए.
that austerity or sacrifice should be for me.
कृष्ण प्रसन्न थे.
So, to satisfy the Lord and to make him happy, if we perform some austerity or
इसलिए कृष्ण ने
sacrifice, then it provides us peace and happiness. And that is why whatever fasting or austerity he has told, we should do that. He hasn't told us to perform severe austerity. He is our Lord, He's our Father. He doesn't intend that we should starve ourselves or we should be
ये तो संसार
troubled and live in distress. But it's just because people of the world, according to their
ये तप
thoughts and whims and fancies, have
लिए हैं.
created or transformed these
कृष्ण ने
fasting,
जी बताइए
etc. So sometimes people fast on Mondays.
मैं खोज रहा हूँ किस ग्रंथ में लिखा है सोमवार का.
I'm searching where in the scripture it's mentioned. It's not mentioned in Bhagavatam.
भगवत गीता में नहीं लिखा, रामायण में नहीं
It's
लिखा,
not in Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana as well.
महाभारत में नहीं लिखा.
So it's not even in Mahabharata. So from where did this Som Monday originated? Some people fast on Tuesday, some on Wednesday, and others on Thursday.
नहीं कटवाते.
And some people don't even cut their hair on Saturday.
बाल कटाने गया तो मैंने कहा
So one time
बोले आज
I
खाली ही खाली है.
I went to cut my hair and they said that today it's vacant. Why? Because nobody comes to cut their hair on a Saturday. They say that this is the day of Hanumanji.
हनुमान जी को बुरा लग जाएगा.
So if we cut our hair, then will Hanumanji feel bad about it?
शनिवार को दाढ़ी करे बाल काटे मतलब हनुमान जी को और कोई काम धंधा नहीं वो हमारी
So
दाढ़ियों में हाथ डालने
does Hanumanji care about anything else than our beard or
मतलब हम लोग भगवान को
hair?
क्या समझे हैं कि बस वो इतनी छोटी छोटी बातों में ही देखते रहते होंगे. હું તો તમને કહું છું શનિવારે જ વાળ કપાવાય.
So I will
શનિવારે જ દાઢી
say
કરાય.
that you should
શનિવારે એન્ટ્રી પાડી શકીએ.
cut your hair on a Saturday
ભગુભાઈ
because Sunday is a holiday
શનિ રવિએ જ વાળ કપાવાય.
and you should be ready.
So, संसार में कुछ ऐसे लोगों ने धर्म के नाम पर
So people, on behest of religion, people have scared others.
जरूरत नहीं है.
So it's not to be scared of.
शनिवार रविवार सोमवार देखो जीवन में कुछ भी करे भगुभाई તમે તો અમારા પ્રેમી શ્રોતા
If you do anything in your life,
આજે હાથમાં આવ્યા છે. हम लोग जीवन में कुछ भी करें
so no matter whatever we do in our life,
के अनुसार होना चाहिए.
it should be according to the scriptures. It should not be based on our whims and fancies.
हमारे मन की
So what we do is we act upon our whims and fancies, and
भगवान के लिए भगवान ने कभी कहा था ये कर
and then we blame the Lord for the same.
मुझे कोई बताएगा भगवान ने
So
कहा
will
को दाढ़ी नहीं करनी
someone say, tell me that where the Lord has said that we should not cut our hair on a Saturday?
किसने
From where did you get this knowledge?
शुक्रवार कहाँ लिखा
Who has told you to fast on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
को बिगाड़ने का काम.
Why are you ruining this eternal religion?
આપણે ત્યાં અડધું જીવન તો ડોશી પુરાણમાં વયું ગયું.
So half of our life we have spent on getting knowledge from our old women. So she used to do it, so therefore I am also doing it.
चलो वो लोग ने जो किया
So on and so forth. So no matter whatever they have done, they
कुछ अपनी
we are educated, so we should use our wisdom and intelligence and act
इतनी
accordingly. So we perform so much austerity, fast so many days.
नंगे पांव चलकर जाओ यहाँ पैदल
People go barefoot to temple.
भगवान राजी થાય.
If you go barefoot, then will the Lord be happy? Where is it mentioned?
मैं तो ये कहता हूँ ये धर्म में भक्ति में ज्यादा कुछ
In
जानने की जरूरत नहीं है
pure devotional service, I say that there's nothing much to do. Whatever he has told, that only we should do. We should not do more or less than that.
दृष्टांत दूं
Let me give you a simple example or analogy.
एक 15 साल का लड़का
There was a 15-year-old boy. He came running here
मैं एक
and he says,
प्यासा हूँ
I am thirsty since 1 month, so please give me some water to satisfy me.
तो यहाँ तो सब भावुक भक्त बैठे हैं
So here all the devotees are sentimental, so they go to home. Why should we give him water? We should give him ghee or clarified butter. So now if you start giving him ghee, he was expecting water. What were are we giving? We are giving clarified butter. We can say that water is 10 rupees liter, but the clarified butter is more expensive. So you should be more satisfied. No, he is thirsty. He wants water. If you give him water, he will be satisfied. Similarly, the Lord has not expected much from us. Putram Pashpam Phalam Toyam. That is the leaf or a flower or a fruit or water. So what does the Lord expect? That is mellow or emotion. So he needs that from us. So this boy came, he's asking for water, and we give him clarified butter. Although the clarified butter is expensive and we have to work hard to bring it, but will it satisfy this boy first? So similarly, if we perform great austerity and run here and there, the Lord will not be satisfied. Whatever he has said, if we do that much, he will be satisfied. Then you might say that you should say straightforwardly what does the Lord expects and what is his desire. So the Lord's only desire is that you should remain in the mode of goodness. You should not be agitated or angry. And for your mode of goodness, I will be satisfied. And to keep you in the mode of goodness, and if you want to satisfy me, then twice in a month you should follow the Ekadashi Vrata, that is the 11th day of the calendar. And he is saying this scientifically that just twice a month you should fast. So whatever you call it, Madhav Tithi Ekadashi, etc., Rama and Krishna himself have said that we should follow this Ekadashi. No other fast he has told us to perform. So there are so many factors and science behind it. So on the day of Ekadashi, in the grains, there is more mode of ignorance. And it has demonic quality. So if we eat grains on this day, we will get demonic attributes. Therefore, on the day of Ekadashi, we should avoid grains. Then, on the day of Ekadashi, Krishna says, once in 15 days, if you avoid grains, then your body also will remain healthy or disease-free. So you take a holiday or a leave on Saturday and Sunday, you have a holiday, but what about your stomach? It should also get some break. Only then it will function properly. So it has a scientific reason behind it. It gives us some piety, it gives us mode of goodness, and it satisfies the Lord as well. So this is how we should work. And then you might say, where is written? I will say that where it's not mentioned. when I do perform online, then I have a system in place where I quote from the verses from the scriptures in Brij Puran where it is mentioned and where not.
पुराण हर एक
So
वेद
every scripture and every Veda speaks about Veda, about the Ekadashi Tithi. In Mahabharata, it is mentioned that on day of Ekadashi, if you eat grain, then it is equivalent to eating the flesh of a cow.
गरुड़ पुराण में लिखा है
In Garud Puran, it is said,
बंधुहा गुरुहा मातृहा अपनी माता को मारने का जितना दोष है
the sin of killing your own mother
का जितना
or
दोष
to
है
kill your
उतना ही दोष
spiritual master,
एकादशी के दिन
similarly,
खाने से है
the sin is incurred if we eat grains on Ekadashi. So this is all mentioned in the scriptures. Therefore, we should follow Ekadashi.
को क्या समझाना है
So you all already know. And if you just indicate, then it is sufficient. And you already know what I'm going to speak. So you all are wise people here. You all should follow Ekadashi.
हो सके तो निर्जला करें
And if possible, you should do it taking without water. Our Bhavgre Prabhu avoids even water on Ekadashi. Therefore, although he is 50-year-old, he looks like a 24.
एकादशी के दिन और हो निर्जला न हो सके तो
If you're not able to do that, then you should keep fasting by just drinking water.
करे तो सब
Or if not that, then you can have some fruits.
और फल में भी कष्ट पड़ता है
And even if you don't want fruits, then you can have anything except grains.
से वर्जित रहिए अन्न मत खाइए
Just avoid the grains. That's all.
और ये सब है ना एकादशी व्रत करना ये 25 साल पहले मुश्किल था
And it was tough to perform Ekadashi 25 years back. But now we feel that Ekadashi should come a weekly basis,
वैष्णव एकादशी रहते
on weekly basis. So all who have experienced that
रेगुलर हम लोग
kept Ekadashi. So regularly we eat roti sabzi, dal, rice, etc. But on Ekadashi we have sweets, etc.
સાબુદાણાની ખીચડી
We have sabudana khichdi. We have
લોટ નીકળ્યો છે ને
samo.
ફરાળી લોટની
Then they have
ઢોસા
a fasting
ફરાળી પાસ્તા
pizza, dosa, pasta, everything.
રહ્યું છે શું
So what is there in Ekadashi?
આપણે અન્નથી
But still, at least we should try to avoid
આપણને એમ
the grains.
तो ये सब मनुष्यों के उपाय है मनुष्य
So these are all the solution of human. As man is progressing, there is a progress in
खैर लेकिन
religion also.
जीत रहे और आज भागवत कथा चल रही है
So
भागवत कथा के दौरान
in this Bhagavatam Katha,
एकादशी है
there is a great austerity.
भी आज
And
फराल कराएंगे एकादशी
even if you don't want, you will get the Ekadashi Prasadam today.
पद्म पुराण में एक कथा है
In Padma Puran, there is a pastime. I didn't want it to say, but let me say.
બધું કહી દો તો બીજી વાર ન બોલાવો તમે लेकिन सूर्यवंश में एक राजा हुए जिसका
So
नाम
there was a king in the Sun dynasty whose name was,
જોર से બોલો
what was it?
આ તમારા ઘરે છોકરાઓને કહેવાય ને એટલે બધું પાકું કરાવવું છે રાજા રૂકમાંગદ
So it was
उसके राज्य में
Rukmangad.
जाता बगीचे में
So he had a beautiful garden and it has beautiful flowers. It was decorated with flowers, and the celestial beings from the heavenly planets saw the beautiful flowers and they came down and plucked some flowers. So next day, the gardener saw that there were some flowers, but now they are not there anymore. He complained to them that somebody is plucking the flowers. So the king said, no problem. It might be the Lord's desire.
अब
So Urvashi, etc., used to come on earth and used to pluck the flowers from here. So one day it so happened, all the celestial beings came and they plucked the flowers and they were returning back. But Urvashi's dress got stuck in the brinjal tree. And it is mentioned that brinjal is in the mode of ignorance. So you should eat it. So her dress got entangled in the thorn, and it is said that Urvashi's all piety was destroyed and she became impious and she got entangled here. So in morning, Urvashi became worried that these people cannot be trusted. What will they do? How they are going to abuse me? And at the same time, King Rukmangat used to come in the garden. So he thought that let me just walk in the garden, and he said that Urvashi, he is coming, and Urvashi is anxious that who is coming, and this king came. So he is from the dynasty of Lord Sri Ram. And with folded hands, he said, "Oh mother, who are you? What are you doing here?" So when he said, address her as mother, then Urvashi was satisfied. And she told that we come here and pluck the flowers here. But today my dress got entangled in this eggplant plant, and please make an effort to send me to heavenly planet. So he said that if I could have sent you to heavenly planet, then wouldn't I have gone there? If we have the solution, why will we stay on this earth? We will not go on the heavenly planets. Then Urvashi said that, does anybody performs Ekadashi? So he said, what is Ekadashi? So here also there might be few people who say that, what is Ekadashi? So Rukmangat said that, what is this Ekadashi? So she said that it is a fasting that we should observe. He said that we don't do anything like that. So he said that yesterday was Ekadashi and today is Dwadashi, or the 12th day. So by force or in problem, so as today is Ekadashi. But if your stomach is upset, so you haven't eaten anything, not for Ekadashi, but because of distress in stomach, you haven't eaten anything. And some are there, why we should eat? Why should we eat right now and we will just eat in the evening? So they haven't eaten any grains. So just find out if there is someone who hasn't not eaten the grain by mistake. So he said that, let me check. So he called his minister and said that, just go and search. Has somebody just fasted yesterday? Just find such person. So everybody started looking. Then there was a woman who was crying in front of a shop, and she said, why are you crying? Why? She said that I haven't eaten anything from yesterday. And he started, you're dancing. I'm telling you my distress that I haven't eaten anything. He said that we will feed you whatever you want, but you should just come with me, as if now. The pastime is long. So he asked, why haven't you eaten yesterday? She said that I work in a merchant's home and I broke a glass and they took my money and they didn't give me any food also. I said, no worries, we will give you everything, but you should accompany me. So he took this woman and brought her to Urvashi, and he said that, oh king, she hasn't eaten anything. He said, Ekadashi. He said, I don't know Ekadashi, but my master didn't give me any food. So Urvashi said that even if you haven't eaten any grains, then she said that you take some water and take a vow that yesterday was Ekadashi and unknowingly I have followed it. So whatever benefit is the, I will offer it to Urvashi. So in Padma Puran, it is mentioned as soon as the woman said that I fasted yesterday and unknowingly I have followed it and I give the benefit to Urvashi. And by just saying this, Urvashi went back to the heavenly planets.
आप विचार कीजिए
So just imagine, unknowingly, somebody else has performed it or observed it, and she got the fruit and she went to the heaven. And if we knowingly with love and emotion, if we follow Ekadashi for ourselves, then why won't we attain heavenly planets or the eternal abode of the Lord? So as you might be aware, Angad was the king of the Sun dynasty. He made it a law as so he said that even if you don't give tax, that is okay, but everybody has to observe Ekadashi, and who doesn't do it, I will punish them. Such were the kings in the past. So in his kingdom, everybody started observing Ekadashi, and when they all died, they all attained the eternal abode of the Lord. This is mentioned in Ramayana. So, oh devotees, these fasts are worth observing.
आज एकादशी व्रत यहाँ पर आपको एकादशी जैसा ये तो मैंने कह दिया
So I just had I sent you the kitchen, you would have eaten and you won't even have realized that today was Ekadashi. So we have French fry. You got papad on Ekadashi? How? Anyways, we sing.
एकादशी करिए तो व्रज सुख पामिए धन्य एकादशी एकादशी
करिए तो रज सुख पामिए।
वैष्णवों के लिए 4 निष्ठा कंपलसरी है।
So of Vaishnavas, there are 4 principles to be observed. So Vaishnav is the one who belongs to Lord Vishnu, who thinks that he belongs to Lord Vishnu. So he doesn't have a horn. All those who are initiated doesn't mean that they're Vaishnav. Vaishnav means to belongs to Vishnu. Don't complicate it much. And those who think that they belong to the Lord, they should have faith in 4 things. First, that is the chanting of the holy names. We should have allegiance to the holy names of the Lord. That is Namanishta. Secondly, Dhamnishtha, or we should have explicit faith in holy places of the Lord, that is the pilgrimages. So we should have our allegiance to them. And if you can't do that far, if you can't go that far, as you're sitting in this Lakshmi Narayana, this is also a holy place, this is also a pilgrimage. It's not less than that. But you should have allegiance or explicit faith. And if we don't go further, there is a allegiance towards Ekadashi. We should have firm faith in Ekadashi. So previously I have said that who is the son of devotional service, that is Gyan or Vairagya, that is knowledge and renunciation. And what is her throne? That is humility. She sits on humility. Her sons are knowledge and detachment.
भक्ति की माँ कौन?
And who is the mother of devotional service?
देने वाली जननी
Who gives birth to devotional service? So,
भक्ति विनोद ने कहा
Thakur Bhakti Vinod Thakur has said
देने वाली
the
जननी
mother of devotional service is Ekadashi,
एकादशी व्रत है,
and the fasting on this day.
भक्ति की माँ है। यदि
So
हम
she is the mother of Ekadashi. So if we observe Ekadashi, we will have unalloyed devotional service towards the Lord.
15 मिनट है,
Do you guys have 15 minutes?
તમે આમ બહાર જઈને વાતો નથી કરતા ને? આણે તો અડધો કલાક વધારે લઈ લીધી.
You don't go out and gossip that he has taken 20, 30 minutes more. Is it okay?
ऐसा ही एक भक्त
So there was one
राह देख रहा है
devotee in Bhagavatam who's waiting for me,
और उसका नाम है ध्रुव,
whose name is
श्री ध्रुव महाराज
Dhruv Maharaj.
जैसे भगवान ने वराह अवतार धारण
So as Lord has
अपने स्थान
incarnated as Varahadev
और फिर
and gave the position of her, and then Manu and Shatrupa got married
मनु और शत्रुपा की 5
and
संतान हुई,
they begot 5 children.
उनमें से 3 कन्या हुई।
Of these, they had 3 daughters who were Akuti, Prasuti, and Devhuti.
सबसे बड़ी कन्या देवहूति,
The eldest of them was Devhuti, who was married to Karda Muni,
ऋषि के साथ विवाह
and
कर 9 कन्या हुई।
they begot 9
विवाह
daughters.
मुनियों के
And all these were married to great sages and saints.
साथ थी, जिसका
Of them, one was Anasuya, who was married to Atri Muni.
और फिर एक पुत्र हुआ
Then there was one son
ऋषि का पुत्र, जिसका नाम था कपिल।
whose name was Kapil Dev.
भगवान कपिल देव की। सो इस प्रकार मनुष्य
So, in this manner,
दूसरी कन्या
and there was a second daughter whose name was Akuti.
विवाह रुचि
So, Akuti was married to Ruchi Prajapati,
से उनको ट्विंस हुए,
with whom they begot twins,
जुड़वा संतान हुई, यज्ञ और दक्षिणा।
that is Yagya and Dakshina.
पुत्र हुए तोष
And their sons were,
पुत्र हुए।
they had 12 sons.
मनु और शत्रुपा की पहली कन्या
So,
देवहूति, उसका वंश,
so first daughter was
दूसरी कन्या
Prasuti,
उसका वंश,
Devhuti, then Akuti, then the
तीसरी कन्या
third daughter was Prasuti.
प्रसूति का विवाह दक्ष प्रजापति के साथ,
She was married to Daksh Prajapati,
और उससे उनको 16
and from there she begot 16 daughters.
और दक्ष की 16 कन्या, जिसमें 13
So these 16 daughters, of these 13 were married with
जिससे एक
dharma or principles of religiosity
14वीं कन्या
personified.
स्वादा, जिसका
And
विवाह पितृगण के साथ हुआ।
then
15वीं
the other one was married to ancestral.
का विवाह
Then,
देवता के साथ हुआ।
then other was married to Agnidev.
शत्रुपा की तीसरी
So,
कन्या प्रसूति, जिसका
so the
विवाह
third
के साथ हुआ।
daughter of
16 कन्या
Manu and Shatrupa
की 16
were married,
कन्या,
was
जिसका
married to Daksh
सती
Prajapati, and whose
विवाह
16th
शिव जी के साथ हुआ।
Sati was married to Lord Shiva.
એટલે ભાગવત સાંભળવી પડે। મંદિર में
Are you all aware? That is why we should listen to Bhagavatam.
की पत्नी सती,
So Shiva's
के पिता कौन,
wife
माँ कौन?
Sati, who were their parents?
शिव जी की पत्नी सती की माता का नाम है प्रसूति,
So
पिता का नाम है
Sati's mother is Prasuti and father is Daksh Prajapati,
और शत्रुपा के वंशज है।
and they belong to
ओके,
the family
मनु और
of
शत्रुपा की
Manu and Shatrupa.
आकृति,
So they had these 3 daughters
मनु और शत्रुपा के 2 पुत्र हुए,
and they had 2 sons. The elder was Priyavrat.
क्या नाम है? प्रियव्रत के पुत्र हुए अग्नि।
So his son was Agnigra.
वैसे तो उनके 10 पुत्र हुए,
Although he had 10 sons,
3 को
but
ब्रह्मचारी बना दिया,
3
कवि
became
महावीर और
celibate,
ये सन्यासी।
Kavi, Mahavir and Samvat.
बाकी 7 पुत्र हुए, उनमें से
But the
बड़े
rest 7, the eldest was Agnigra.
शत्रुपा के बड़े पुत्र प्रियव्रत, प्रियव्रत
So
के
Mani and Shatrupa's elder son was Priyavrat and his elder son was Agnivrat and his son was Nabhi and his son was Bhagwan Rishabdev,
100 पुत्र हुए, उनमें से
and he had 100 sons, and the eldest was Bharat,
के नाम से
on
हमारे
whose
देश का
name
नाम हुआ
the
भारत।
country was named as Bharatvarsha.
ऐसा
So this is the history.
हम कल सुनेंगे कैसे
So we
उसने
will listen to this
आइए
tomorrow.
और शत्रुपा की तीन
But
कन्या हो गई, आकुति,
so we
द्योति,
have discussed about 3 daughters of Manu and Shatrupa, then eldest son Priyavrat and his succession.
पुत्र हुए,
Now the younger son, whose name was Utanpad.
उत्तानपाद। अब उत्तानपाद की दो पत्नी
So
थी, लिखा है भागवत,
Utanpad had 2 wives. It's mentioned in Bhagavatam.
सुनीति सुरुचि स्तयो, सुरुचि प्रेयसी पत्नी नेतरायत सुतो ध्रुवः। महाराज,
So it is mentioned that King Utanpad had 2 wives, Suniti and Suruchi.
दो टाइप की पत्नी
And
होती है,
in this world, there are 2 types of women
टाइप्स ऑफ पत्नी, एक
or wives.
सुनीति,
So one is Suniti
सुरुचि,
and other is Suruchi. Suniti implies
जो
the
शास्त्र की नीति
one
के
who
अनुसार जीवन जी,
follows the scriptures
के अनुसार
and lives that life and lives according to her husband.
सब सुनीति ही सुनीति।
That is Suniti. So here everybody is like Suniti.
लेकिन दूसरे टाइप की पत्नी होती है सुरुचि,
But the second type is Surichi, who works according to her whims and fancies.
मरे सो मरे, घर का जो
She doesn't care about her husband or home, but work according to her whims and fancy. That is Suruchi.
महाराज उत्तानपाद को दोनों पत्नी मिली थी, दोनों
King
गर्भवती,
Utanpad had these 2 women wives, and they both were pregnant. So the elder one, Suniti, was
और अपने राज्य के बाहर किसी
thrown off their home, and she used to stay
गरीब जीवन
in
बिताती थी,
a
और सुनीति
her
सुरुचि
cottage outside the country, and he used to live in great pitiable situation. But Surichi's
उसका नाम,
son, who was born
और वहां झोंपड़ी में
and named Uttam, and this son,
के गर्भ से जिस बालक का जन्म हुआ,
which was born by Suniti,
नाम हुआ
was called Dhruv.
ध्रुव। ध्रुव ध्रुव है भक्तों, ध्रुव के बारे में मुझे कोई कहना एक लाइन में बोलना है।
So if someone tells me to speak about Dhruv Maharaj in one sentence, then I'll say that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has spoken a verse. There he has mentioned Dhruv.
मरना आवे, कुछ लोग कहते हैं आ धंधो तमारो છે,
Some
તમે
people say that this is your job. Why should we remember this?
आपको यहाँ बिठाया है आपको याद रखने के लिए।
You are here so that you should remember.
गीता में श्लोक याद है जिसमें कृष्ण ने ध्रुव को याद किया,
There is a verse where Krishna remembers Dhruv Maharaj.
जातस्य ही ध्रुवम मृत्यु, ध्रुवम जन्म मृतस्य च, एक श्लोक में 2 बार ध्रुव ध्रुव बोल गए।
So in this verse he has repeated Dhruv twice. Although he didn't talk about this Dhruva what we are discussing, but what did he say?
जिसका जन्म हुआ,
A person who is born, his death is inevitable. So Dhruv means
जिसका जन्म हुआ जातस्य ही
fixed or inevitable.
मृत्यु, जिसका जन्म है उसकी मृत्यु।
Whoever is born, he is going to die. But there was a devotee of the Lord who had proved it wrong, that a person who is born, he will die. But Dhruva is such a devotee that he hasn't
शरीर ही नहीं छूटा,
died and he became immortal. He never left his body.
रॉन्ग कर दिया।
He proved the Lord wrong.
यदि हम चाहे तो
If we desire, then through the path of honorable devotional service,
अमर हो सकते हैं।
we can become immortal.
धीरे धीरे बालक बड़े हुए,
So these children came or became 5-year-old, and one day this Dhruva, who used to reside in a cottage,
अपने मित्र उत्तम के साथ
came to the palace to play with Uttam.
पिताजी उत्तानपाद सोने के सिंहासन
So Utanpad was sitting in the throne of gold. And when he saw his son, he picked Uttam and put him on his lap. So Dhruv also was playing. So Tanpad had this desire that I should put Dhruv also on my lap, but he couldn't do it because his wife Suruchi was sitting next to him. So he thought she will feel bad.
सोना बेटा, पति को बेटा कहते हैं आजकल.
These days they call husband as son.
तो मेरी पत्नी को बुरा लग जाएगा. हमारे गुरुजी कहते हैं पड़ोसी का बच्चा होता ना तो भी कोई उठाकर बिठा.
So our Guru Maharaj says that even if it would have been a neighbor's son, he should have picked, but it's his own son. So Dhruv thought that he hasn't picked me, so I will go and sit on my own accord on Utanpad's lap. And he somehow sat there. His stepmother, Surichi, could not tolerate this. She had this jealousy towards his co-wife, and she couldn't tolerate, and she took him by hand and dragged him and put him on the ground and said that, "Oh, foolish child, how dare you that you sit on the lap of a king?" So this is a 5-year-old child who got so scared, and he asked, "Why can't I sit here?" Why can't I sit on the lap of my father? She said that you are foolish, you are small, how would you understand? Dhruv replied that Uttam is the son of king and he can sit on the lap of his father, then why can't I do the same? Suruchi said that you are the son of the king, I agree on that, but you're not my son. You're not the son of the queen. And if you want to sit on the throne, then you should have born from the womb of the queen. And in this birth, it's not possible for you. You go to the forest
तत्एव अनुग्रहण में और मरते समय तपस्या करके
and
मरते समय
perform austerity. And if you get the Lord by chance, then you should tell the Lord that, please bless me that I should be born from the womb of Suruchi. So in anger, people lose their wisdom and intelligence. So if Dhruv attains the Lord, then why will she want to come in the womb of this woman's womb? He can go straight to the heavenly planets. But when a person is in anger, they don't know or they behave unintelligently. So Vetri Muni describes that, oh, Vidur, Dhruva reacted as if a snake tail is touched by someone. So for Dhruva's pastime, we perform for 7 days.
हमारी स्टाइल ये है.
Actually, it is how.
एम यहाँ तो खुली खेल रहे हैं, लेकिन कहा मातु सपत्न्या सदुरुक्त विद्वी स्वशन रुषा दंड हतो यथा हितवा मिशन्तं पितरं सन्नवाचं जगा ममातु प्ररोदन सकाशम। ये मैं जो भी गाया ना भागवत का श्लोक था।
So this is the verse from Bhagavatam which I sung. Although you couldn't understand or contemplate, but how beautiful it is. Just imagine, whatever we don't understand, still we enjoy it. If we understand, then imagine how much we will enjoy it. It will become our life and soul. This is where Shukdev ji goes in trance. That is Bhagavatam. So Dhruva started crying and he walked away. Maitre Muni says, "Oh Vidur, he was not crying that his stepmother has abused him or mistreated him, but his sadness or distress arose from that the mother was my stepmother. She might say anything that is not good, but the father is my own father. He didn't supported me at all." Dhruva left. And that day, there was one Utanpad. Now, everywhere we have Utanpad in every home. Everybody works according to whims and fancy of it. I went to the birthplace of Shakespeare. Shakespeare has said, these people think that I don't know.
राधिका ऐसे ही नहीं आई है, शायरी सुना सुना कर लाया हूं ऐसे। शेक्सपियर ने ऐसा कहा था।
So Shakespeare has said that a woman is like a flower. She is delicate like a flower and is worth loving. But we should not become their slave. Love is something else, but slavery is different. So you can ask, what's the difference? So slavery means to become blind. Even if the father is on deathbed, we see sometimes when the son gets engaged, then he addresses his in-laws with so much love and affection. Your father has killed himself to take care of you. They don't take care of their father and they address sweetly to their father-in-law. So we should love our life, and she is worth loving. But along with that, we should not forget our responsibility. King Dashrath lost his responsibility and he had to lose Lord Sri Ram and he died. To love Kekai was his responsibility and he should have done it. But Kekai said that the Ram should be sent to exile and Bharat should be made the king. That time, Dashrath should have said that you do whatever you want to do. I will not send Ram to exile. We love our wife. So we can't we have that much of a say with our lover? So we should be always careful about our responsibility towards our parents, society, etc. Otherwise, this love will destroy us. Nowadays, what is happening to the kids in the society? They say that we love a boy or a girl, and if the parents see that they're going wrong and they try to stop them, then they say, we love this person, and for that, they just leave their parent. You haven't even understood the essence of love. Had you understood the essence of love, then you won't have left your parents.
समझ में आता? हम लोग प्रेम की दुहाई देकर
We give an excuse of love.
शादी कर लेना, भाग लेना, प्रेम की दुहाई
They
देकर
run and they marry.
माँ बाप को छोड़कर।
But why should you leave your parents behind?
आपने कृष्ण कथा बहुत सुनी होगी, लेकिन
You might have heard the pastimes of Krishna,
हजारों
but
एंगल से देखा जाता है, एक एंगल में आपको आता
our Krishna is seen from so many perspectives. So let me show you another perspective. For 11 and a half years, he resided in Braj with all gopis and Srimati Radharani, and he loved them for 11 and a half years. And then he left to Mathura.
कृष्ण के माँ बाप को कंस ने कारागार में बंद करके रखा था,
As his parents were imprisoned by Kansa, so he freed them, liberated them from that prison.
देवकी और वसुदेव कारागार से मुक्त हो
Now,
गए।
Devaki and Vasudeva were free,
वहाँ गोपियों को राधा को
and
क्या कहकर आए थे?
Krishna had told the gopis and Srimati Radharani, he said that I will come back day after tomorrow.
देखा मेरे पेरेंट्स
And here he saw that my parents, Devaki and Vasudev,
को सुख नहीं दिया,
I haven't given them any pleasure, and they were imprisoned and stayed in the prison. So Krishna had two options. Either I should leave my parents and go to Braja, or shall I leave Braja and reside with my parents? Who is Krishna?
गुरु है।
Krishna is the spiritual master of love. He's love personified.
दुहाई देते हैं ना,
We give an excuse of love.
प्रगटाने वाला कृष्ण है।
He is the one who
उस कृष्ण
manifests this love, and this Krishna for 100 years
माता के साथ रहे।
he lived with his parents and he
ये होता है प्रेम।
let go of Srimati Radharani. This is love.
और राधा का विरह कितने साल का? 100 साल का।
So the separation of Srimati Radharani and Krishna is of 100 years.
100 साल का। कृष्ण के पास दो ऑप्शन थे,
And Krishna had these two options, parents or friend or beloved.
पेरेंट्स या मेरी राधा।
So
कृष्ण पेरेंट्स के साथ रहे, राधा
Krishna chose his parents and left Srimati Radharani
ये हैं।
and his friends.
और राधा कृष्ण साथ में नहीं होकर भी कृष्ण से प्रेम
And
करती रही।
although Radha and Krishna were separated, yet Radha Rani loved Krishna. And here they call their husband and say that straight
कंट्रोल नहीं होता।
come back home from the office, don't go anywhere else.
को देरी हुई,
Is this love?
क्यों हुई?
And if he's 5 minutes late, they call and say that, how could you be late?
आज जहां हम लोग कितना
And he says that I'm stuck in traffic.
करते हैं, आप तो सब
So I'm sure you all are doing, you might not be doing anything like that,
માતાજી મારી માટે ખાવાનું બનાવીને લાવ્યા છે, પનીર
because some of the Matajis have bought some to eat for me, so they'll not offer it to me.
लेकिन मैं मेरे पति से प्रेम करती हूँ,
So
सीधे
they say that we love your husband and tell that just be here sharp 7 o'clock at home. Is this love?
पति को ऐसा प्रेम दो, ऐसी
Love is that you should love your husband, you should serve him in such a manner that
पे आके बैठ
if was supposed to come at 7 o'clock, you should be there at 5.
प्रेम है।
That is
प्रेम में कंट्रोल
love.
नहीं होता, प्रेम में
We should not try to control, we should not try to bound by
अपने
love.
प्रेमी को स्वतंत्र छोड़ना होता है।
We should leave our lover independent.
राधा ने कृष्ण को कोई बंधन नहीं डाला,
Radha never controlled Srimati
आगे हैं।
Lord Shri Krishna. That is why she is far more celebrated than Rukmini. At least Rukmini gave one bondage that you are my husband. But Srimati Radharani
मेरे कन्हैया पर ये बंधन भी मुझे
thought that I will not give even, I don't want even one
આને કેટલું કામ કરવું
bondage for Lord Shri Krishna. He has so much to do for the welfare of the society. So she didn't give this bond.
कृष्ण के साथ राधा
That is why Krishna is always venerated with Srimati Radharani. But we don't know. This love is complex and deep. So the time is up. So let's pause here. And tomorrow we will listen in detail. So you all have been listening with great patience. So I'm really grateful to all of you.
तो ये
When I
पति
speak like this,
मेरे पास आते
the husbands come to me
थोड़ा
and say that
होते तो अच्छा था।
you've done such a great job.
तुम्हारी पास एक
They can't say, therefore they tell me to speak on their behalf.
दारी हो तो बेचारा कही શકે તમને ઘરે। कृष्णचंद्र भगवान
की जय,
श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की